White Walker-perpetuated offenses are considered especially heinous. In Westeros, 4 dedicated friends investigate and discuss these vicious episodes as members of an elite squad known as A Podcast Has No Name.
I'm Ambush.
I'm Castro.
I'm Morg, and we are A Podcast Has No Name. Where's our song?
Oh, yeah, nah, I'm just sorry. I'm songed out.
Wow.
You're closing out the Wu and he's songed out.
That really doesn't make sense.
No, it's just
the professional rapper of the
I've
show.
been writing. Yeah, like I'm tapped out. I'm really just
creatively tapped right now.
The pen is empty.
The pen is empty.
No, the pen is never empty.
Well, I mean,
shit, I don't have it really right now.
Okay,
unbelievable.
Yeah, and it would be easy. It's a Wu-Tang show. You know?
Yeah, it would be easy. Look how
the beat
hard you're making it.
Raw, I'm gonna give it to you with no trivia. We're gonna cocaine straight from Bolivia. I'm not doing all that. And you know, I would do that in honor of you, God. Yeah, let's talk about this fucking show.
Okay.
All right. Reel it in. Reel it in.
When I walk and sock like their Emancipation Proclamation.
0 to 1,000.
Do a verse for you, God, in honor of his accents from the show. They even snuck Capadonna in the thing with some weirdo out of time, out of space, didn't happen. And spit my Winter Wars verse in jail, and you never see me again. Come on, man.
Wow. Okay. Well.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I'm going to give a quick, just the Hulu synopsis of each episode, 6 through 10. Title and synopsis or description. Episode 6, Impossible. A bird's eye view of the Wu. 7, Box in Hand. The Diggs family moves on in different directions. 8, Labels.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait. Can you read the rest of the descriptions in Dennis's voice?
I cannot.
Terrible.
Please, Morg, you know
Yo,
what to do.
I cannot do it.
Morg.
I can't just yell right now.
Hard S's.
Son.
Back to the hood now, son.
All right, let me see if I can do this.
Stapleton Man's in here, son.
Hard S's.
Hard S's.
All right.
You know, when you get invited to the bar mitzvah. Oh, y'all just gonna do the brie right now, son? Where's the ladle at, son? Spin it, son. Don't invite Dennis Cole from Wu Saga to any bar mitzvah. He does not know.
You should do it, actually. Invite him to every bar mitzvah. Okay, episode 8. Labels, son. Just labels.
Just labels.
Industry rule number 4080. Is that too loud?
No.
9, I declare war. The Shaolin and the Wu-Tang may be dangerous. 10, Assassination Day. A mysterious tape makes the rounds in New York City. As people try and figure out who the group is, Bobby and Dennis try to figure out how to handle Attila.
Good grief. Man, that was the synopsis for the last episode? That's how they did that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What up?
Do you think they were John Henry shaming with Attila? And do you like feel empathetic to? Do you feel empathetic when they do that? Like, you know,
nah,
hulking black man.
Attila. No, see, Attila reminds me of. I feel like Attila is that one dude in the hood that was larger than life. He may not have been terrorizing everybody, but nobody fucked with dude. But then you had versions of Attila.
But this is what the stereotype is. That's why I'm thinking you take offense, because in the hood, normally that motherfucker is like 4'8", 5'1".
Sometimes.
The whole, even if he's super huge and he. But you know, there was one hit acquitted motherfuckers.
Yeah, I basically just thought this was like. I'm sorry. I thought this was just basically the East Coast Debo.
Yeah. But that's the thing. All right, so the dudes that were that big, they weren't all of that together. Like Attila was all the stereotypes in one. He's the gun-toting, knock you out with one punch.
Gets out of jail,
like
Just
running
out
up
of
in people's
jail.
crib. Those aren't the same people.
Got it.
Right.
Like
exactly.
somebody of
That's definitely
Attila's
true.
size works for the dude that does all of that shit.
Okay.
Like
Look,
those
not-
dudes.
not to get
aren't-
ahead, but,
Yeah, those dudes aren't their own bosses.
Until a pistol whipping two people with a gun, he should have got shot. There's where surrealism gets to me. Like, they get the drive. Look, and I don't care if we're jumping ahead. Our listeners know how I do. Look, when you just out of jail, I would have kicked that nigga out on the road. What you all yelling at me? Commissary. Nigga, get your ass out. Walk home.
Get out of here.
Right.
And trust me, if they was upstate in New York, it's a long walk. Ain't
Long
no bus. It's
walk.
bad. So I would have kicked his ass. I wouldn't have gave him no gun. You ain't had no money. You just coming back pistol whipping people. Nah, you should be disadvantaged with a paper bag.
Yo.
You should be like trying to scope shit out. You shouldn't be so well equipped.
Yeah,
You hit the ground and shit. Fuck, man. He was
Yeah.
all, well, he hit the ground running. Nah, man, you just out of jail.
He
Got
hit the
not a
ground
penny to your
super
name.
running too.
But anyway,
Like,
it's
yeah.
late 80s.
Yeah.
All right, but let's get to it. Sorry.
All right. So first thing, favorite episode, if you have one. Castro, what's your favorite episode?
I'll have to say two, just because the last episode I really really liked, but I liked it because I felt the momentum built to that episode.
Yeah.
Episode one, like I can't wait to binge it. So it's kind of a loaded episode because it was kind of building to that, and so you just kind of like that episode because it was the most well done. But the episode I really enjoyed was them on tour before the deal got pulled for him.
Yeah.
They were like running around on tour.
Yeah.
Going city to city and stuff. I really enjoyed that because they would, that's just been. If you're an artist, you enjoy seeing other artists, do artist things sometimes.
Yeah.
So, that was my favorite. I don't know what episode was that. Morg?
When they were on
like,
tour, I think that was like maybe 7.
No, I think
was
it's an 8.
What was that?
8.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, because Attila
So it
showed up at
wasn't
9.
labels, but it was labels then because labels is when he was going through the label shit. But I felt
Right.
like the tour episode was a little before that. I could be wrong.
No, I think it's the same episode. He just doesn't get.
You don't get canned in that the
Right.
labels episode. He gets
Right.
canned. Okay, got you. That's all. Okay. Got you.
So my favorite is the last episode for some of the reasons you already mentioned. That build up and the pace of it. The way it ended for me was perfect because it definitely left you in a place where they could pick up and do a season 2 and it would be dope. It wasn't an annoying cliffhanger, and without seeing them completely form, it still was a nice solid end to the story. Again, if there is no second season coming, because like you said a couple times,
But that's
there just
my
hasn't
hit,
been any word of it. But
That's my hitch, and I know it's coming up early in the discussion.
what's your
But if they didn't have any assurance of a second season, do y'all not feel it's a curious ending? Cliffhanger notwithstanding, the cliffhanger doesn't make a difference to me. It's just the sense of accomplishment. So by them running, not even getting to 36, not even like answering the phone when Steve Rifkin called, and then maybe going to black. Don't y'all think it was curious that they ended it like this, like a fable, as opposed to the big win at the end of the series?
I think, honestly, just seeing the growth of the characters for me was fulfilling enough. Seeing Ray come back to his family, seeing Meth and Ray even be able to be in the same room with each other and, respect each other's ability on the mic and be cool. Seeing Deck get pulled in, and just watching them record that song was ill.
Seven chamber.
Yeah,
Seven chamber.
that was 7 Chamber. Watching them break those verses up as they're, as different points in the story as they were moving through the episode, that shit was amazing. That shit was amazing. And it was funny because I don't know if it was right before that episode.
Did they write it? Did they write it knowing they were gonna? You know what I'm saying?
I think they wrote it
knowing they're gonna end it before. Well, all right, let me tell you why I'm so curious. My friend, she thinks because it's in the same year, it's kind of in accordance with the documentary. The documentary starts when they make 36. The documentary pretty much starts right after this series.
Interesting.
In terms of the chronology. Sorry.
There you go.
But in any Wu head or any light Wu fan knows that they never really talk about this period of time in their life, except in like the Tao Wu book. So if you're not a RZA fan, you're not reading that stuff. But because it is a RZA book, it says Wu. But so this is like the untold pieces.
Yeah.
But I still think it's, like without them getting a win and ending it right there. When I was watching it in the beginning, remember I was complaining about pace because I was like, where are they going to end up? Are they going to do a time jump? Are they going to, turn in 36? Like even Shorty running around saying she managed them. She didn't even meet them yet. So it was pretty interesting to me. A very interesting artistic choice. Because this is how I'm thinking more. If you have your, and I think this is only because I really cleaned up my room, cleaned up my crib, and I have things organized now. So you have your DVDs next to each other, right? So you have your Wu section, and you have your super bootleg, like maybe a Killer Army something, maybe a promo from a couple of albums. Then you have like your Wu documentaries. Then you have the one that came out this year, Mike's and Men, maybe it's one disc, maybe it's a couple of discs in there. And then you have this one season, and you slide that in. Like I'm just thinking of it as an addition to a Wu collection. I don't think it's insufficient, but it's just curious that would be an addition. You see what I'm saying? If they don't go for another season, that's what I'm talking about. If they don't go for season 2 and 3 or whatever,
I think
it's just being one solo disc.
I think it's written to have a second season. This isn't the end of their story. It's not even all the way the beginning of their story, right? So,
but we know in modern television, sometimes about the second seasons even for the first.
We
season.
do.
In the midst, you get those news. So that's what I'm saying.
We do. We definitely do. But that doesn't happen with everything. Like we don't know every single show that's renewed already. Maybe it's still a conversation.
You're talking to a Hannibal fan, where we were on the edge of our seats literally every season, waiting to see if we were there.
It's true.
No, we got advanced. We got advance word on the 3rd season because that was Red Dragon. So once we got to that part, everybody was like, oh, cool, they can do it. But everybody was waiting for us to do Silence of the Lambs. And there was no word throughout the season, and there was a whole campaign. So it never came to fruition. It still is not. So,
well, with the boys,
I've gone through those moments.
With the boys, we didn't know there was going to be a second season until after it was done. But like immediately based on the reaction to the first season, they announced that second season. It seemed like a week
same
after
thing with House
concluded.
House on Haunted Hill is one season. It's literally after one book. So But the boys,
wow. Sounds like we need to do a show because the boys was magnificent.
We can.
He said,
it wasn't magnificent. No, it wasn't.
Okay,
Watchmen,
we're going to reel it in. Here's the thing.
Man. Yes, House Norm.
Thank you.
Watchmen is magnificent. Is all I'm saying. You want to talk magnificence? Y'all need to be watching Watchmen. Are we watching Watchmen?
We are watching Watchmen.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And we know this is Watchmen from the comic book, the graphic novel, right?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on. I'm good, Morg. I'm good now.
Okay.
I'm good.
We'll move forward. All the way away.
Okay.
From all of it.
All of it. Your favorite episode?
My favorite episode was also the touring episode. And Castro, I think it was episode 9 then that they were touring, because that's when they come back and they get the deal taken. He gets the deal taken, right?
That's why I feel like the tour was the episode right before that, because it was still a happy episode. That deal being pulled didn't come till they got back.
Right.
Yeah.
And, he was going through the thing and them pulling the record off the shelves. Like, I think the touring episode
8 that we thought it was is when he does the video. They tour after the video.
Oh, they tour after the video.
And
okay,
that episode closes on the video, right?
Right. So I'm thinking the tour
video.
I was thinking the video episode was the tour episode.
That was
rough.
Right.
So I just had it mixed up.
Yeah, they're separate. Yeah. I think we have all decided to collectively forget about the video episode, maybe.
That was rough.
Not the episode itself, but man.
It was a lot going on.
No, I don't remember. First of all, let's talk the video. I don't remember him in the tux part because the video wasn't popular when it came out.
At all.
So if you saw it, you saw that first verse. I knew the first verse of him in line talking to the girls, and you knew like more. I'm not saying you're younger, but like me and you knew that song.
I am
heard
much
the
younger,
melody.
yeah.
She said, "I am much younger."
So you could sing it, like we all knew it kind of. You could sing, "Oh, we love you, rock," because of the hook, but it wasn't a popular song that I even remember the video. And literally, it was not. And it kind of got buried. It didn't get played on Video Music Box, and like they weren't playing it like that. It wasn't getting run.
Well, it was a bad song,
yeah.
number one, and he knew
Yes.
that. If the retelling of this is accurate at all, he knew that was not a good record. They changed the way that
And they
took the
changed
beat
sample.
away. Yeah,
Yep.
like he
But here's
knew.
my thing. This is what I thought wasn't unrealistic. They put all that money, and I could, I'm being naive. This is the 80s. They put all that money into the record, but didn't clear the sample first. Did you have to do it backwards?
Yeah.
I think
makes
that
a lot of
time
sense.
frame, they were doing that in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So that time frame, yeah.
Look at Pharaoh Monch.
Yeah, no, but the Pheromone story, a little side note, it was an opportunity. All I will say is they ended up paying that Japanese company upwards of $50,000 when they were negotiating it. And Rawkus was printing money back then.
Yes,
their initial deal, they could have got the sample for $5,000. They were willing to let them have it for $5,000, but Rawkus was like, "Fuck that, we don't need to do that. Fuck them." And then the money got higher and higher to the point they had to pull the record. He was in debt, and it turned in like upwards of $50,000 when they started. They could have paid $5,000. And Morg, I'm just saying this because Rawkus could afford that. They were paying underground artists $10,000 a record for a 12-inch, so they could have paid that. And Pharaoh lost out on mad money because not just the lawsuit, but that song would be playing in every football stadium every week.
Yeah.
It would be one of those Black Eyed Peas staples. They play it all the time. The licensing alone.
Yeah.
Could have put it in a new movie. Any of these new Godzilla movies could have had his song as the theme if they did
What
it right.
song is it that we're talking about?
Get the fuck out.
Oh, okay.
Simon Says.
Okay.
Simon Says.
Okay.
They just recently, and not coincidentally, we're talking about it. 5 or so days ago, just now went up on streaming sites, Eternal Affairs. Fine,
Yeah,
like after like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. It's just,
The sample's referring to, it's a Japanese sample from a Godzilla movie. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Had he just cleared it?
And it's obvious.
It's so obvious.
They could have cleared it, and they could have cleared it with it because it's obvious. Pay the $5,000.
Right.
Oh man, and more the way we do the math. Pharaoh lost out on $100,000 to $500,000. That song would have easily generated that much money
back then. Yeah. Like you're right. That would have been like some NFL license stuff. It'd have been millions. Definitely millions. Yeah. All right. Okay.
It would have been a staple song.
Yeah. All right. So cheesiest moment. I
Castro,
feel like you have a laundry list.
Yeah. You got to hit us with some of yours because.
Okay. Break it down for me and help me out. The episode that Hayes died, is that in this back?
No, but Hayes died in the first half.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But we're talking about cheesiest moment, the whole series, right? These
sure, go for
yeah,
it.
we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and very reminiscent of Tom Hanks's Oscar turn in Forrest Gump. Our lovely Wu-Tang American Saga tried a similar moment during a tense scene with one of their childhood heroes and friends gets choked out by the police. A pigeon decides to take a circuitous route when flying away. And this route includes all 8 members of the clan that were happily around. The pigeon flies over to the fire escape, flies somebody's window, flies to the roof where Raekwon is. Oh my God. But that's not the cheesiest moment. That's actually my
I was like, that was a
Raven.
Raven. I don't understand.
Whatever.
We wouldn't be mad if that happened in Game of Thrones.
No, it was a pigeon. It was New York. So first of all, it was a pigeon.
Well, first of all, different setting. They're not in Westeros, but
no, wait. First of all, pigeons have missions and directives. They're not flying around trying to be poetic and dramatic. They trying to, hunt, seek, and kill.
They got their
the
map quest
cheesiest
on
moment are the spontaneous and so natural inferences within the script of how a Wu member gets his name. Yo, you always looking out the window. Yo, you be like an inspector or something. or when Ghostface goes and steals back the music from Attila, Oh man, how'd you get it? Yo, I was in and out like a ghost.
Yo, that shit was hard.
Or my personal all-time fave.
Oh God.
When Power and Raekwon are in the spot cooking up crack, he looks into the pot and he says, "Yo, you like a chef with this shit, son."
But he was cooking, chef's cook. That
Okay,
wasn't
first of
that
all,
hard.
I have to tell you that honestly,
is
when I
where
watched that
screenwriting-
scene, I thought of you. I thought of you when he said you're like a chef. Like, oh wow, that one.
This
Yep.
is where screenwriting and nuance is priceless. This is when you're paying these people to write these things to make it seem like it's naturally occurring.
Right.
I'm surprised that meth didn't fall when his leg was broke. Yo, man, you need to find another method to walk in. No, they spared us with that. But you know what though?
Coming in
I
season
would
2.
love that they done it for Method. I would have loved that they done it for Method Man because that shotgun shit is driving me nuts. So if they just did his name and started calling him.
You ready
Meth
for the
or
butterfly effect? You need
Panty
him
Raider. I need something. Call him the
Something.
Panty Raider, Shaquan, Johnny
Anything.
Blaze, anything but that shotgun thing. Like
Didn't they do a Johnny Blaze
That's
reference
worse.
though?
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Yeah. So, I bet you. Look. They probably had some of the script written up on like dry erase boards and shit for like readings and stuff.
Oh,
And
for
I bet
sure.
you every time the fucking Wu name came out, it was written in like super gold. They had mathematics come and tag their
No.
name in the script.
No.
Mathematics.
They got mathematics, yo, right chef right here, dog, chef, yo, all over the script pages. I can't wait,
I
man.
cannot.
Oh my God.
That is the cheesiest moment. But those moments, it just was like they just didn't have any no grace in naming them or showing, the names popping up, some of the themes. A lot of the stuff was a little heavy handed, first timers stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine.
My cheesiest moment is just that I don't know if it's true or not, so maybe it's not cheesy, but it is not believable to me that RZA shot Attila. I just don't believe it. The shit ain't happened. And if
Okay,
it did,
well,
hold
the whole
on,
thing, I
hold
think-
on, please.
Yeah.
And if it did, it sure as shit didn't happen the way that they just portrayed that to us. My man hid behind a dumpster. The gun was heavier than he is. He could barely hold it up. Like, what is happening? He stood there like he pissed himself before he shot it, before he even pulled it out.
Oh man.
Like, I'm not buying it.
It is well known within Wu lore that RZA caught a case the last time he was down in Ohio. So I think they're just kind of wrapping the Attila thing into him being in trouble with the law.
It's
right
well
before
known
he
that
stuff.
he caught a case and that's why he went to Ohio. Do we know what the case was that he caught?
No. Oh yeah, attempted murder. Like he shot somebody. He got off. So I'm not sure if the case was in Ohio I'm pretty sure it was down there because they were dealing drugs down there. But he had gotten caught and he really was almost about to go up for like a murder charge.
Oh, I
When
see.
he got cleared,
When
that's when
okay, so
that's when he
they've
was-
put some stories together here to make some
It was
fashion.
the
Yeah.
Ohio case.
Got it.
Because when he got cleared, he went right back and did. When he got cleared, when he got off, he went
Uh-huh.
right back and started Wu-Tang immediately. Like that was like the last catalyst. Like he just started
Well, he
Wu-Tang.
was-
No more like pump faking, like on the series or anything like that.
Okay.
He knew
But
his
yeah,
Bobby Digital Destiny at that point.
Yeah, better than his Bobby Dynamite Destiny.
Hey,
He knew his digital.
Bobby Dynamite works way better than Bobby Digital. Sorry.
Damn.
No, Bobby Digital. Digital. Bobby.
Yeah.
Yo.
See what I mean? I'd rather hear some Dynamite.
But that's the thing. Like, so remember you were asking us before, was he really this awkward back then? Babe, like he would yell digital like that and think that was cool. And it's like, why are you doing this?
All I'm hearing is he's on the spectrum, and that's fine. And I think
Right.
maybe we should
Now,
just be able to celebrate that then instead
hear
of
that.
calling
Being
him
an
just
adult-
awkward. Because fam, this is
Being
more
an
than
adult,
awkward.
Yes, he probably was on the spectrum. Like the funny thing about RZA is he had that weird way of speaking. And before I saw him like in person, like more times, I used to think because I knew they always rock fronts. I used to think he was around with his fronts in particular.
Right.
Particular to a square.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Rex Fly. So right, and so
It's definitely like
cerebral
everything's
cortex
too big in his
with
mouth.
the APHNN
All the words are
spread.
too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he's weird because if you break it down phonetically on some MC shit, he is actually enunciating. But it sounds like he's muffled. But he actually pronounces all of the, he don't slur, he pronounces all of the syllables in the words. So, like, it sounds intelligent, but, he's talking like this. So you should think it was that, but he was really saying all of the words. He didn't, like, skip word, Raekwon playing, styling, they'll just slide through words and shit. RZA didn't. And his style was so unique to that. But yeah, he probably was on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Give or take. He was always like that. Like, that Fallopian Tube song was not.
Gotcha.
That Fallopian Tube song, that's real, Morg.
So then that's proof for what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a real song. That's his love. That's RZA. He thought a love song would be that. Like, he really thinks.
So I mean, I think we're doing it right now. Just
I'm gonna really get the ladies with this one. This is my I
he
need
said,
love.
that's it.
And I mean, I doubt that all the lights in the world dropped every time he was talking knowledge with another 5%er, but poetically.
Yo, cheesiest moment. There we go.
No, what?
Cheesiest
Just Ice.
Yo,
Just Ice creating the Wu-Tang. What's the knowledge today? What's the mathematics today? God, lights, drop center, solo bang. That's it right there. Getting embarrassed by Just Ice with a solo spotlight.
Yes.
Oh yeah. That's the what's that famous play? The Salesman. Death of the Salesman. That's Death of the Salesman all day. Drop all lights, center solo, bang. All
eyes on you, kid.
Moment. That was a moment.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be, shorty?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. When they were trying to be dramatic, it was not a good sight. But when they had other moments, it definitely worked. Like,
I agree. That kind of drama wasn't portrayed well.
This is going to be a tearjerker moment, son. This is what we really went through. When I found out that his seed was going to be my seed and we was going to build in the family, I was just a lyric. But it came out to be true because we the gods.
Signed the RZA.
Okay.
All I was thinking about, Morg, I was thinking about, like, if Dennis is on this bus to Ohio, who's picking his brothers up from school that day?
Fam.
Oh no.
Fam.
That was all I was thinking about when they were on the bus. I was like, are they sitting on the curb? Are they rolling backwards? Are they locks?
Okay.
Wheels
All right. Goodbye.
You gotta work.
Yeah, shut it down. No. We're done
I just
for the
want to make sure
entire
they're not rolling.
episode.
Wow, who is picking them up?
No, I definitely thought about that.
Oh, Dennis.
It ain't they mama.
Well, you know what?
Digital.
But she sent him on his way. The way she started treating him at the end of the series, she sent him on his way. He didn't deserve that shit. Okay, so you sold my hammer, but did you give me the money for it?
Oh no,
right. You sold it on some old.
That was a complicated relationship. He is like, and don't forget, back then he's grown. He probably needs a job at that point in time. It's rent control, so he was
helping out with the bread. We've always seen him helping with the bread. You know what I'm saying? Help out with his brothers.
But again, that was happening, but that was unnatural. 16, 17-year-olds shouldn't be like worried about supporting the family at the house. So I just think the mom thing. I think it was complicated. I get it. Her selling the ham, and I'm just saying this more from growing up in projects and apartments. If your mom found some drugs, she's gonna sell it. If she found it, she's gonna sell it. Don't have this shit in my crib.
As a matter of fact, things like that would just disappear, and then you don't get to ask about it. You assume your parent did whatever they did.
Just know your parents found it.
Yeah, you're not even
flush
having
it and sell it.
Yeah, you're not having that conversation.
And I would be mad if they flush it. I would hope they go sell it. Like shit, at least. But I'm not getting a piece of that bread. Shit.
Wow.
I'm not. This didn't happen to me. I'm just saying.
You guys covered the cheesiest moments. Let's hop into the gulliest moment.
Wait, you said your cheesiest moment?
Well, I feel like you got both of them. I feel like you guys nailed it because definitely the bird was like, that was dumb cheesy. Like as we were watching it
the animated clips of the drug
animated clips
of the drug selling.
Now I want to look back and double check.
No, the second batch worked The second batch to me worked
Yeah.
dramatically more than that first batch. The first batch, I was like, "Whoa, what are we watching?" Like, I didn't know what. I
It
thought they
caught
were
me
going
off.
to zoom out from the video game. It was jarring. But the second time worked. Yeah.
Someone said that they switched directors with a couple of the different episodes, or switched directors or switched writers. I can't remember, but that's why some of the episodes had different paces, and it was done purposely. So I want to go back and double check that. I didn't get a chance to, but yeah,
the rewatch should be pretty interesting.
hell yeah, I'm anxious. I'm anxious for a rewatch, especially now that all the episodes are out. Just binge it, watch it straight through. Like, yeah, I'm definitely. I'm not used to having to wait for a lot of for the things that we normally cover for the podcast. We're not used to having to wait.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
You know, Game of Thrones is the one thing that we were like, fine, you can make us wait for this. You know,
Right.
We'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, we
we'll
don't
do
do many serial shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of binge.
Yeah.
Morg, what's your gulliest moment?
I don't know.
You have so many to pick
I
from.
could jump in. I could grab them while you think about it.
Thank you.
The gulliest moment to
Go ahead.
me, fam,
So extra.
Mhm.
was that funeral. That was the gulliest moment to me. When
Oh.
Dennis flipped out, I was
At the
like,
funeral.
Dennis!
Yeah.
yo,
Flipping out at the funeral.
listen. It's one or
Totally
two. Listen,
inappropriate. All right.
it's one or two. It's one or two. I got two. And they're both Dennis. They're both Dennis.
Well, they should be. You said
Yeah.
gulliest moment.
Gulliest. Dennis at the funeral. Dennis at the video shoot. That shit.
Ooh,
Fam.
Dennis at the video shoot.
At the video
Yo.
shoot, he was out of pocket.
You got
My
your
man
little
was-
backup dancer with
Yo,
you.
he was out of pocket. The way he was
Got
holding
your
that
little
bottle too.
backup dances with your Stapleton homies is here.
Yeesh.
Oh my God, he was wild out.
I mean, one great thing, you never, had to guess how he felt about the situation.
You never had to
You knew
guess.
for sure that Dennis was upset.
He wore it on his sleeve.
So this is
Oh
what
my
happened.
God.
This is what happened. As that was playing out, and after the episode, I remember saying to Morgan, yo, I totally forgot like how severe and how like real that beef was. Like that was like RZA shouldn't have been able to just be like, y'all get over it. Nah, this nigga shot his crib up.
Well, let's go to the actual gulliest moment. Raekwon shooting up Dennis's house
yeah.
in the first fucking
But I have a
episode.
problem with that moment because I still don't know if that was real or not. Like, all right,
But
my
we-
thing with the beef
Well,
is,
for the sake of
For the
my
sake-
sake of the
with beef
series,
is,
though.
All right, it was representing Park Hill versus Stapleton. And
Okay.
when you have beef neighborhood-wise, you might not know those motherfuckers because there's no reason for you to know them because you have beef with them, even generationally. But
Sure.
if you see them, it's on. So, like, but actually, tell y'all the truth, sorry. I did watch a Papa Wu thing. That is true. But it was more like Power and Raekwon. Shout
Oh,
out,
shit.
close to Chris. Yeah. So,
Shit.
yeah.
Well, but that's what was portrayed was Power and Raekwon shooting up his
I
crib.
know, but when I first
Well,
saw
no.
it,
But I just need you to understand the way you tried to spin that. You said,
All right,
I
look,
still
it
have
was
problems with
blowing
it
my
because I
illusion.
don't know how true it is. Okay, I did watch a Papa Wu thing and it was basically exactly like this.
Oh, you think Papa Wu is not an exaggerator? Papa Wu speaks. Yeah, he
Okay,
does. All right,
well,
so,
you
all
know
right, let me
what?
stop. Okay, I'll stop. I'm playing. I'm talking both sides of my mouth. I'll stop.
There we go.
Good job. Good job.
Self-reflection is key on a Monday. Thank you. Thank you, Castro.
All right, but this is my thing. This is
No
where
one likes it when I say
this
that.
disbelief comes. Not necessarily if it happened or not, but because the reality of them two being so tight in the crew. This nigga just used to shoot me. I'm just not gonna be twin spirits with him when we combine.
I mean, I think
I'm-
that's
So to me,
I might hang out with Dex.
that's
if
why.
if that ends up being true,
Right.
that is Raekwon's superpower. I mean, RZA's superpower was to be able to bring them together.
That would be incredible.
But
So
here's the
not
thing.
just- not
Here's
just
the wait,
combining power.
wait,
y'all,
guys.
Let me break
Wait.
it down real
Well,
quick.
well, real quick, though.
So you can retort. And, no, wait. Let me just.
Okay.
Let me just.
All right.
Let me just lay it out flat.
Okay.
They're not just members of the Wu. Ray and Ghost are like twin peas. That's what's like. They're like twin souls. So how would you get to that?
Okay.
From that?
Because you're already
That's the
that,
thing.
right?
So here's
If you're a twin soul, you're already that.
so here's the thing.
Some part of it.
We
is,
keep
yeah.
saying if
Right.
as if we don't know. We've already confirmed that the shooting happened, and we know because we know the Wu today, and for however long they've been on. These guys are peas in the pod. So there's no if this No, this actually happened, and this is why we need seasons 2 and 3 on some real shit. We need this, the rest of the seasons to make it work.
How can you combine these? It's like they're like Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, but in the Wu.
Mm-hmm.
But they used to shoot at each other. That's where I'm like, oh my god! Like
I'm with you.
See, I'm all about. I'm with them joining on. I'm with them. You know, maybe they on. I was like the crew was split up. You know, certain ways and shit like that.
Right.
Certain people clicked up and probably worked with each other more than others. But them two,
it's crazy.
they're like black glove right, black glove left. Like, you know, Raekwon made an effort for Ghostface to co-star. Like, that's not a Raekwon solo album. It just is because that's what they told us. It was a Wu-Tang album, starring Raekwon, co-starring Ghostface.
Yeah.
And they even worked on those albums. That first run of albums, Morg, they all worked together on some like Chronic type shit.
Yeah.
They all worked together on those first 3 albums.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was around. Then they started splitting. So I think it's just an amazing. That is a musical achievement that needs to be like verified and echoed.
I think the point is that's the kind of thing you can't write. Like that story is an unbelievable story, right? For every single episode, I said to Ambush, how are they? When do they become friends then? Because none of this makes sense. Like there was never a let up. Like Dennis was never like, I mean, I ain't really tripping. It's been a minute. Nope. You know what I mean?
Even when they all teamed up, even when Meth and Ray teamed up from their early little, they didn't have beef, but they just weren't hitting the same frequency.
Right.
Even they went to the studio at the end. No Dennis.
Right.
Like still like.
Right.
You know. But again.
So that's my thing. So, it for me, that makes it either that it's not true at all. Right? Yeah. Or that's the true fucking gem of how they come together is whatever we're gonna find out.
I can't wait to see what that is.
And in that event, if we ever get it, that is going to be the gulliest moment of any show.
That's going to be
because this shit don't make no fucking sense.
I don't think they're gonna give us that.
What could possibly pull them together?
They kind of have to. They kind of have to.
For them to hold on to a couple of gems and still be mysterious Wu, the next season could definitely start. They made 36 and just jumped. That's the one thread. I know the Ghostface thread is hanging.
So here's
too big of a thread.
They can start.
Too big of a thread for me, and I'm not a Wu head like you. That's way too big of a thread.
So here,
but you can see every other dot is every other T is crossed to jump time except Ghost. So you can jump time with all the rest of them.
Here's the thing, though. With the way they've been pacing it and the characters that they've given us outside of the Wu, it wouldn't serve them right to do a jump because honestly, like my favorite character is Cherie.
Right, I was gonna say Cherie would have what two babies by then.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying.
Like, you can't skip over this.
The fact that you know what I'm saying. So it's a really excellent opportunity to pick up the second season with them in Ohio and that whole life and that whole situation, and then kind of like what they did with Master and None, where he started overseas and then he came back to the U. But all the press we saw was them shooting overseas. So it's like, is the whole season going to be over there?
My only concern with that, is narratively, and for this as a story that I would love that. But as far as the music of Wu-Tang part, that would be kind of dry because RZA's not there. Right. I mean, who knows what the fuck they would be doing in New York? Probably not anything. But I was surprised that I saw Raekwon recording with somebody else. At all. I never even knew he recorded.
I feel like he didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I think this would give us an opportunity to see what was happening with the rest of the members in New York. It still gives us an opportunity to see other rappers that they came up with, their interactions. Like, it could be a crazy second season with the different things that are going on with everybody else. Plus, we still didn't get Master Killer. We didn't get like Cap. So
let me ask y'all this: Did y'all see Master Killer's name at the end?
I did see that.
They have His name was on it, so you saw his name in the terms of the contributors. Or executive. They had another line executive producers that were all the Wu members. Yeah. And so I thought that was curious. So check this out. My friend said, and I hope y'all can help me, that Jizza handed Master Killer his CD at the end. That was Master. She said either she saw that in the credits or it said Master on the table or something like that. Do y'all
outside the record store?
Yeah, when he was reminiscing and disappointed about his CD.
Yeah.
When he passed that dude the CD, she says that was Master Killer. I think that would be a really
I
last
gotta
second.
rewatch
I didn't
and check that
catch
out.
but I gotta watch it again.
Because if that was Master Killer,
Was there
that was
any
dope.
Master Killer? Was there any reference? Did Jizza make a note of? Did anybody bring him up at all?
Nah, there's no mention.
See,
There's no
so
mention.
I think that's strange that he's an executive producer. I know he probably knew the timeline, but just the way they stuffed all the other shit in, they could have stuffed his shit in there.
So,
they could have made a reference like
now. Okay, all right, yeah, no, that could work. That could work. We could really get Killer in the second season. We can get Donna out of jail, and
because I would love this, y'all. I would love a whole Master Killer episode based on him working on that verse for Shadowboxing.
Jesus.
Because the thing was, Morg, there was a slot open, and this is his first rhyme he ever wrote. He just kept working on it. He blew out there was other cats around. When Shit Stain probably, 60-second probably was around. Like I'm talking like Riz's brothers and like family members that were all rappers back then. There was spots. If you notice, in Wu records, there'll be spots. Somebody gets 4 bars, and you never hear from them again.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's one infamous one on I can't remember his name. Buddha Monk, I think, has like 4 bars just on a song. He doesn't come back, or it's like 6 months, like off. They cut him off, and he don't come back. So I thought the way they did Method Man's episode, I would love a Master Killer episode, and then at the end of that episode, showing him ready and laying that verse, and then being inducted into the
man. Listen, I'm telling you, there is so much to work with. Like, and I'm going to say this. This is not me on. I'm giving you all the disclaimer. This is not me on any level comparing it to say it's as great. I'm just saying they could give us an equal amount of seasons to The Wire with this story. They really could. Like, there's so many different ways to hit this story and tell the story of so many different members.
They would have to stop at Wu forever.
Because
they gotta stop there.
Because at that point, I mean, think about it. We're talking about I was listening to the other podcast, Call Out Culture, and shout out Call Out Culture podcast, and you guys it was the Black Thought episode, but you guys were cracking some jokes about some of the Wu affiliates to Alaska. I remember, and maybe that was a different episode of yours I was listening to. In any event, you guys were talking about the
Wu affiliates. Yeah,
and
that could come up on a number of episodes,
right? And now it's easy for us to for them to be like a slither in our memory. But back then, like, Killer Priest was huge. Like, there was no confusion about how dope he was and how integral he was to the Wu. You mentioned Buddha Monk.
Because the Wu cosign was so heavy, we believed anybody they brought with them.
Right.
Think about it.
Killer
y'all
Army.
Brought 9 motherfuckers to start?
Come on, dog.
Like, the sheer number of the initial.
Yeah.
Y'all bring 9 motherfuckers? Oh, so everybody, y'all bring, you know what I'm saying? Most groups, 3, 4, maybe. Right. Y'all brought 9. So that means anybody that y'all say, oh, they with us too, they're of that ilk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm sorry, Morg. What you saying?
Nothing.
She was joking. She said too many. But yeah, Killer Army,
that's what all the
Sons of Man, a lot of Dark Man. Like, there was a lot.
Lot of dark. LAD. And that's the wave that got established. I'm talking this shorty, Shit Stain, 60-second Assassin.
Right.
Dreddy Kruger, who has been a great executive producer.
The Grave Diggers? The fact that they gave us Prince Paul?
Disciple.
Come on, that was great.
He's crazy now.
They gave us Prince Paul in the video episode.
True Master.
Yeah.
True Master.
That was all right.
No, True Master really lost his mind. He really like literally lost his mind.
Yikes.
But Fourth Disciple, anyway, it's endless. Like, don't get me started about Black Knights and North Star and all that other shit.
Did you guys give your gulliest moments? All right.
Who's the guy that cut his penis off?
Nope. What'd you say, Morg?
Which affiliate is it that cut his penis off and then jumped off a balcony? What's his name?
That was that wasn't when somebody just did that.
He wasn't in one of the groups.
I think that's like a third.
He's a Wu affiliate.
A third tier cat.
Yeah.
He's not a group cat. It's a third tier cat though. And you know what?
He got initiated.
that's
He
worth
got
looking up.
branded. It was all sorts of
That's
shit. Y'all ain't gonna try and
that's
kick him
worth
out the
looking
group
No,
now.
we ain't kicking
just
him out.
'cause he
We
cut
just
his dick off
we
and
just
jumped off the
saying
balcony.
we just saying you got the Wu was the first tier. Second tier is like Sons of Man, Killer Priest, Killer Army. Third tier is like
And there's a whole nother tier.
is like the Dark Knights.
Well, we're gonna take this moment.
Lot
I'm gonna
of
find
Dark
that
Bear.
dude real quick, and because I watched
No,
I watched a
Dark is
little
the second
like a
tier
20-minute
member. Oh, I got
documentary
it.
on that
I got
guy.
it.
Now you right. Lie a second.
got it.
You right.
Last second. I got it.
Let me just give
Oh
you
wait.
what the.
No, this is a 4th tier member. What's his name?
Okay, well, let me just give you the headline.
She
then.
got it.
Let me give you 2.
Okay.
1, Wu-Tang rapper who cut off penis and jumped off balcony wants to do porno.
Oh God.
And then the other one,
Oh, Christ Bearer from North Star.
why I cut off my
Oh,
own penis. Rapper who used a steak knife for botched DIY vasectomy.
Oh.
It wasn't a vasectomy. That's completely different than taking your penis off.
Christ bearer.
I'm sorry, you said his name was who?
Christ Bearer.
He was
He's
part
in
of
the
which group?
North Star. But wait, North Star.
That's definitely 4th tier. That's definitely
Wu-Tang
4th
Clan
check it, but he was
associated rapper
RZA's-
cuts off penis, jumps off building in suicide
he was-
try.
He was RZA what?
He was an early West Coast signing. He was one of the West Coast cats, and he
Okay.
was RZA's right hand man when he was out there.
Don't try to put this off
But
on us.
check this, Morg. It says the Wu-Tang affiliate whose penis was never at any point detached from his body.
Right. But
Yikes. It
but
was
the-
hanging and he jumped?
okay, he tried to
Like,
cut
he
his
might not
penis
have cut
off.
through.
Right. He didn't get the whole thing off and got it attached. Like
It's dangling.
it's back now.
No,
Like,
when I'm saying at the time it was dangling and then he jumped out a window.
indeed.
God.
I mean,
So he got
basically,
halfway. He got frustrated with the attempt and was like, fuck it.
basically, he was
But
like,
also, they say Killer Priest called him an official Wu-Tang Killer Bees on video in 2012. But the Wu-Tang Incorporated said this motherfucker
Never
ain't got
heard
shit
of
to do
him.
with the Wu-Tang.
Yeah. It
Never heard of him.
always boiled down to
They said
Wu
nope.
Incorporated, which is basically
Wu
Power
Incorporated.
and
That was Power.
yeah.
Power and Divine.
Power
I
Divine.
was just gonna say, so
Incorporated.
that's
Like,
Wu Incorporated,
yes.
and they just like never heard of the Wu.
That's it. Yes.
But nah, we don't know nothing about no loony
You
like
said
that.
he did what?
We looking at.
Oh,
we
he
look-
said he from the West Coast.
The
Oh,
Japanese
okay.
market opens at midnight. We don't know nothing about it. That's how Divine and Power get down. They ain't playing.
Oh my
They
God.
only worried about the market and the margins, man. Don't tell me about no dick cutter now. I don't know nothing about that, dog.
Yeah, basically, my man tried to cut it off and then couldn't get it all the way done, and was like, "Fuck it, I've done this. I might as well die."
He was like, I can't even cut my dick off right, and just jumps out the window.
What are we
jumped
still
off
on
of-
gullies?
That was pretty
forward.
good.
We're
Yeah.
still on gullies.
Well, that's the gulliest. First tier Wu-Tang affiliate there.
Not first tier.
Yeah,
Stop saying
that's
it
my
over and
key
over again.
takeaway.
He is terrible.
My key takeaway is that someone else said he's
She's
a part
being-
of
name
that.
is
She's being
Christ Bearer.
slanderous.
There's so many problems with that. He called himself Christ Bearer.
I mean, that's a lot. Yeah,
Oh my God. All right.
All right.
it was the root of all his problems. We'll just leave it there.
Morg, what
Yes.
is your gulliest moment, girl?
I already gave my gulliest moments.
Cash, you give yours?
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
No, mine is when Raekwon finally stopped being all scary and did his rap on the basketball court. And it was like, shaplah! Like, that was just taking me there. I really liked
Okay.
how the kid was doing
Okay.
those performances.
Okay.
I felt that was real sick.
Yeah. All right. Most nostalgic moment. Castro. What was your most nostalgic moment?
It's two, actually. It's one, obviously, is when they were doing Seven Chamber.
Yes.
And just seeing those verses spit properly, that was pretty dope. But really, when they did the credits and it was Old Dirty character, Jizza and RZA, and they were practicing all of them together now.
Yeah.
And the camera was spinning around because that routine is like influential. They use that for like 4 hooks
Yeah.
on the first couple of the songs and stuff, and that's like their family thing that really got it rocking. So I really felt good about that moment.
Yeah. You got one over there, MJ? Nostalgic moment?
I think the tour, because that I've lived that life, and so I was just really nostalgic about. No, I'm just joking. I don't have anything.
I was like, okay, maybe. All right.
I don't. I mean,
From a production standpoint, she did live that life. Okay. All right.
That's a good point. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't have a nostalgic, like, I don't have it the way you guys do. I just, like, overall genre and an era is dope to see.
I got two. One of those which you've already shared, the Seventh Chamber recording, primarily Dex verse, because when it happened,
Dex verse was killer.
Yo, and it was funny because me and Morgan were talking about that too. I said, she was like, I don't really think I remember Deck like that, and I was like, no, you know Deck verses, you just don't know it's Deck, because Deck has had some of the most memorable verses, like the way he comes in on some of these songs as that first verse, starting it off crazy. I'm like, nah, you know some Deck verses, you just probably don't remember.
Yeah, Deck is in the Hall of Fame for leadoff hitting.
Oh,
like, he has some of the best opening verses
ever.
It's just he deserves. It's just ever.
Yeah.
It's just It's funny because he just dropped a record that was actually somewhat decent.
The first album was really good.
Was shit.
The first album was good.
Uncontrolled Substance was no. First of all, he's Deck. He should have been out in the first wave. They lost a lot of his stuff in the flood.
Yeah, I did hear about
that.
And
that cover sucked.
Okay,
so
slow
I
down.
just thought it was a shitty it was a shitty rollout. It was a shitty rollout, and I was like, he deserved better than that.
He did deserve better, but there's some gems on there. He just definitely
the most recent record. What year did Deck drop? 97, 90. I gotta look it up. Look it up.
Right. That might have been like 98.
But he came out in the second wave though, Morg. He didn't come out in the first wave.
Yeah,
he came out in the second wave after Wu-Tang. And a lot of his best verses are on Wu-Tang. Some of those songs on Wu-Tang Forever are his, like Little Drummer Boy and the Other Cities, like those are his songs.
Yeah,
that they made in the Wu songs. So my point I was just saying is like he just dropped something decent. The Czarface stuff is like ugh, but his last like 4 or 5 solo records are ass. They suck really bad.
Whoa.
So my other nostalgic.
More. Go look at his discography.
I'm getting there.
Go look at that.
My other nostalgic moment for me was RZA having difficulties with the sound man.
He was triggered.
I was triggered.
He was upset.
The sound man ignoring you and shit and saying, "Oh, it's already set for the first guy." Except for the headliner. Calm down.
He told him don't move around as much. Just stay in the middle.
The other monitors aren't hooked up. What?
He said, I hated the it's EQ for the headliner, not for you.
But like that whole relationship with the sound man, I'm like, I know you know that, Castro. Like, and I was telling him, I'm like, yo, there's a clear difference the way they treated hip hop acts and rock acts. Like they
thought we didn't know what we was doing.
That whole like putting the beat on and then him reading the paper, like that's how they will put like for sound checks, they would start our music and walk off and go do something.
Wow.
And it's like, you need to mix my vocals. What are you doing?
Right.
Other day I had a performance. Me and Zilla is at this coffee shop, but they have a performance space.
Mm-hmm.
So it was wireless mics, right? And Morg knows this because y'all have even better technology when y'all do y'all production. Mm-hmm. Wireless mics ain't shit. Like it's not like wireless mics have always been rolled out like it's the next tech.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Let me clear this up real quick. You get what you pay for. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. You get what you pay for.
That's true. But even still, I was working on these very high-end ones. They had solo phantom power batteries, the big block of that.
Mm-hmm.
But here was the problem. Me and Zilla are professionals. So as soon we're raging locomotives, meaning like once the train's on the track, we rolling. Right. So if he hears that his mic is higher than mine and I can't hear that, I'm gonna have a mic in my face before I even know it. We're gonna trade mics.
Right.
So the sound men were yelling at us, stop passing mics, and we're like, yo, we have to pass mics if one mic is failing and he's doing leads. It doesn't matter what the hell y'all doing over there. Right. What they were doing is messing with the levels while we were rapping and stuff. So when we would pass mics to compensate, that was the mic they just took down and up, and we were like, oh, we actually were almost like arguing with them in the midst of the song. At the end, we dapped up. But yeah.
So they were bringing down.
We're doing our thing on stage. Yes, we're doing our thing on stage, and then when the mics were insufficient, we were passing them. They were changing the levels of the mic as
to match who was lead vocal, who was background vocal, as if they know the song.
Right.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Or no, just as we were rapping, if we were lower, if they were changing my shit, but I'd already passed that mic, so they were undoing what we were doing on stage, and we were doing the same.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So it was just. But anyway, they were talking to us like, don't trade mics, don't cuff the mic. Like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, don't do that. Right. I don't care if I'm a rapper. I don't care what I look like. I know what I'm up here doing. So don't talk to me as if I don't know what I'm doing as to why I'm having difficulties. No, y'all are over there twisting knobs and sliding buttons. And I'm telling y'all, they had an iPad type thing. They were doing this wireless sliding and shit like that. Mm-hmm. You know, wearing tight staff shirts. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Okay.
Like, you want to look important.
Reeling it back in. Reeling it back in.
Yo, you want to look, you're in the back. You're in the back, and you're wearing black, meaning nobody can even see you, dumbass. So look, just get my shit right. But I do have to say there's a caveat to the story. I didn't make it to sound check, so. And
okay.
No. I'm just putting that out there for fact. But also, there were like 10 acts. Everybody did 2 songs. It was like a little benefit thing. So they were constantly fiddling with whatever they were doing over there. Like, it was just, you know. But
well, thanks for admitting you did make it to sound check.
Yeah,
that's important.
Context is key. Okay,
how do you feel about the time period covered? You said there were some discrepancies with fashion you had issues with.
It was certain clothing they were wearing that wasn't out yet, or it didn't quite match. But I have to say they were pretty accurate as the season went on. If you looked at what Raekwon was wearing, some of the things Cherie was wearing, specifically that Polo Divine had on, that was a classic. Like, all the low heads were like, "Ooh, see that piece?"
Did you see when Ray had the Snow Beach pullover on?
Yeah, but again, he didn't have that until the video shoot much later.
Right.
But you know, that was like an Easter egg. You know, put in.
Yeah, they got to give it to us at some
like
point.
That stripe joint. No, like he had the gold tarantula. He did not have that.
But he didn't have a gold tarantula. When you said that last, that was a scorpion.
It was a scorpion.
Yeah, and the tarantula was white.
But to
gold.
me, it was seeing that. Right, but seeing that around Raekwon, what are you gonna think if you blink? You're gonna think gold tarantula?
No, I'm gonna think he in the streets. This is the lead up to the gold tarantula. He in the streets. He getting money. He a D-boy. He like jewelry, so we see in the precursor to the white gold tarantula. That's how I looked at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that back. Yeah. But yeah, so the time period. All right, so I love the 90s, and I'm a New Yorker, y'all. If anybody don't know, and that it was a dangerous time in New York, but it was one of our great times. It was a great moment. So I love seeing that that time period and you know, stuff like that. Just stuff that just reminded me, like the last episode, seeing how you know, how record labels were just kicking off. Like Steve Rifkin was like in that room with a little rundown, like shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing before everything popped off.
Yeah, that was
really great. But again, they were, you know, so like this show and this series, because of the internet community I keep, it's hard for like die-hard Wu members and like, you know, hip hop like revivalists, like, because they start thinking of, well, what year did this happen? That couldn't have been this and that, as opposed to just being a pastiche. For anybody that never knew about the Wu-Tang at all, you know, it's fit for that. It's not fit for like Wu-Tang historians. That was a documentary, but yeah, I think they did a decent job. I think they did I'll give them a B-.
I like that you made that distinction that the Wu historians, the self-proclaimed Wu historians, have an issue with this versus the documentary, and I love that this is happening. I love that this is creating a space for our stories to be told this way, to be presented this way, as opposed to just documentary form. It's kind of like when Bryan Singer was giving us the X-Men and was like, and made that declaration from the jump. The movies the cinematic universe is different when it comes to Marvel. So don't come with your comic book shit. This is our ability to do whatever we want with these characters, and that's that. So that's how I've been looking at this. Honestly, I think I would be more critical if they were doing a bad job with it, like if they were being shitty with it. But the fact that it's so good, I'm totally cool with any steps from reality that they take, as long as it's not like super crazy and slanderous and you know,
where is you God?
Oh, okay. You know.
No,
I mean, sure. Yeah.
y'all real woo heads don't give a shit.
Don't even get me started on Where's You, yo. Don't even get me started.
Well, I will say this. And you know, I don't know how people may feel about it. I'm not missing them. I mean, it's y'all acting like y'all missed.
Whoa, what you talking about, son?
Listen,
Yo!
listen, B. Don't act like. Let me ask you this: on the Pantheon, who is higher for you, Wu or Cat? I mean,
Wait,
you got or Cat
on the what?
on the list on the Pantheon, the Wu Pantheon. Who is more important to you,
That's a
you got or
question.
Cat?
You got. You got is my favorite member of the Wu, dog.
How?
What you talking about?
You know, I'm sorry. We had this conversation already. You do no. I listened to you say this on your Call Out Culture podcast. MJ Castro admitted to picking the second. Like if it came to Batman or Robin, he's a Robin fan. Like he went down a list of different people, different collabs. Like whoever's the main people that everybody like, I like that other guy.
He's a contrarian.
No one loves you guys.
But that's not.
You guys
No,
gets
that's not-
clowned
that's not
consistently
reason.
though.
That's not the reason I picked those guys. It just happens those are always the second tier guys. Like Malik B doesn't suck.
No,
You
he
know what I'm
doesn't.
saying?
But
Like I
he's
just
not.
end up liking the other guys. Fight don't suck.
True.
You know?
But you got has one successful single, and it's barely Bizarre. That was it. There was nothing else you got put out that made any sense and that worked.
You got,
for
but that's
anybody.
because you unplugged.
No, I tried. But I bought Bizarre on vinyl. No one should have bought that.
Kino Speaker is dope.
Yikes.
Venom is okay. Like he puts out some decent projects.
I kept giving him a try because he's an original member. It was like, you're being disrespectful with your beat selection. I don't know what to tell you. And then you want to rap however you want to rap, all over the beats. It's like all over the place.
Blueface, baby.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Too far.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm going to start saying to reel it back in from here on out.
All right.
Everybody can, I'll make a button or a hat.
I feel like we talked about the cliffhanger ending already, so we can skip that, right? Everybody.
Well, how do you feel about it? I mean, for me,
Mhm.
it wasn't like the kind of cliffhanger where I'm nail biting. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, oh, I think there's going to be a second season and it'll be cool to watch. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
if this ended and it didn't get another season and this was it, I think for a non-Woo head, this would be fine.
Got you.
However, I don't think it should end. I think the show is good. I think it should continue, and they should continue to tell the story.
I love that.
And I love these actors. They're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Hard S's and all. And bugged out eyes. I know he has a headache
Oh, the
every
eyes are
single
definitely
day.
bugged out.
Yo, he has a headache every day.
Or the fronts that they could have just came to Philly or New York.
Okay.
I mean, so here's
All
the thing.
right.
I just
It
want to
did
have a
not
little
fit.
chat.
Okay, let's do
Since
it.
we're going to skip the rest of that, right?
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment.
And this goes into the next question, too.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Oh, should I just be
best-
The
quiet?
fronts didn't fit them.
Hold on.
Skipping the fronts
The
didn't
next
fit.
The next
Yeah,
question is best Wu member embodiment and worst Wu member embodiment.
Okay, well, that doesn't go into that.
Okay,
That's not the same.
So let's just
let me
let's
just
talk about the fronts. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the fronts and I want to talk about the wigs. I just want a moment.
What? What's the other part?
The wigs.
What's
The wigs.
The wigs.
Because you
Oh
can't.
God! I thought we were gonna skip it.
Oh, no.
I thought we were gonna skip it.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Because,
You
listen.
said it in dread. Oh God.
Yeah, listen, the amount of times I have to pause and be like, okay, but for real? This is a high quality production. What are we doing?
But it's historically speaking, it don't even matter. I don't even know who they had on set or who they hired. They cannot, and they will. No, it's not. They cannot. They refuse to do black hair correctly.
This is
Because
what I'm saying.
I don't know
there
what-
are more black
who's on
movies,
Riz's head?
more black shows. We're becoming more present and visible with the natural
That's why I
hair.
say they refuse.
Hear me out. It's not that they refuse. because there are, I mean, maybe there are just still white showrunners that don't know any better, right? And maybe the actors are like, I mean, well, this is, I guess this is what I look like today.
Have we seen a good one in
I'm
TV?
about to give you.
Okay.
Quick question.
Wait, Castro. Wait.
Because it's curious that this came up, though, Morg. It's curious you brought this up because I didn't even start looking because this is my quick question. Riz's hair got worse later on in the season.
It did. And then we go to him having the straight backs wig, which his hairline started at the cul-de-sac of...
Oh, wait, that was... Wait. That was during the video, right? He
had
the cornrows, right?
Yes.
So that's why I look bad when he was back on the streets after pulling the deal. I think they just used the old hair. I was like,
no. They're
really
different
bad.
wigs. They're different wigs.
Oh,
but
God.
all of them are bad is what I'm saying. Listen, we all have made fun of the Shamar Moore braids and whatever prayed up black movie he was in a long time ago where he was the light-skinned cheating hit you dude.
Yeah.
Oh, we know the historical worst one though is In Too Deep. Omar Epps' hair.
Oh, easily.
He, at the end, when
it is incredibly bad.
Is that worse than 8 Mile Locks?
Comparable.
She said comparable.
No, it's
comparable.
It's not all the locks. It's not all of the locks in 8 Mile. It's the one lock that falls in his face. And as a person that has locks, there's no goddamn way.
Okay, except for J. Cole got that shit popping right now. And I'm like, in what world does that just hit your lip and you ain't got no beef with it?
Right.
He doing it right now.
You gotta
better watch an interview.
Flip your hair, or you at least take that one out of your face.
Yeah, you need a bobby pin.
The other thing is, it's not just irritating. It's not just annoying. It's irritating. It irritates your skin.
Yes, of course. He needs a bobby
bouncing
pin.
on your face.
I need to go back to this though, because I just want to finish this thought.
You want to say there was a good
how
hair.
bad the wigs are for black people, especially when they're braids. They're always awful. We expect awful when it comes to, which is crazy for our natural hair ends up looking like. Maybe that's what our natural hair looks like to white people. I don't know.
Oh,
like I don't know the science behind it, but hear me out. There's so technology. There are women in every neighborhood right now making the best custom wigs in their neighborhood.
True.
And they're $300, $500. The better quality, the more money, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can be a bank teller and make $35,000 a year and afford a $500 wig, Hulu ain't got no fucking business putting mops on top of motherfuckers' heads and painting in black. Also, for a very quick recent comparison, Chance the Rapper was just on SNL.
Oh, wow.
In the skit where he's a judge, I can't remember what, Judge Barry or some shit like that.
Judge Barry.
There's a dude that comes in who has half of his hair braided straight back cornrows and the other half out. Is it the best wigs SNL has ever done? Yes, for black people. Like it actually doesn't, his hairline starts where it's supposed to start. Yeah. It's not all fuzzy in between. Like they're 2-week-old cornrows. Like it is the best. They could have, at the very least, done what they did at SNL there. You know what I mean?
Good point.
It's a huge
good point.
Demerit for me.
All right.
You can't have an all black cast and have white people doing the black people wigs.
Oh no.
Or maybe you can, but you got to get better white people making the wigs. I don't know. And then we move to the fronts. The fronts that are as big as a bus stop. And ain't nobody's mouth big enough to hold that shit.
So listen.
We got lisps out of nowhere now. Everybody has a speech impediment, but it's just because they have fronts in their mouth. And all the speech impediments are different.
Listen, this is what I said to Morg over the weekend in preparation for this call. Like y'all was taking shots at my man in the last podcast episode. About his mouth being open, he can't close his mouth because of
big as a bus stop.
All I was saying, it hit me later on. Like, wait a minute, Ray mouth is always open. Ray mouth stay open though, but Ray lips stay open.
Ray's mouth,
but his fronts were made for his crooked teeth, so they fit.
Thank you. It's not because his fronts were too big.
That's because he had somebody else's fronts in his mouth.
Exactly. But y'all couldn't have got this man a custom grill from the fucking mall. They do that shit at too many places for you
That's
to
what
go
I'm saying. And
to
you
the
don't
swap
remember,
meet.
your cat's teeth was fucked up and mismatched in size, and them fronts would fit them. They would make that mold for that mouth and shit like that. And the fact that these are like props.
It's just too simple for them to get it right, for them to get it this wrong.
I feel you.
These things are really go to any hood.
Ain't no
every
AP,
hood. Go to every hood USA.
Every hood USA.
Going down to Gold for Cash. They're not sending the AP down there. They won't do it.
Right.
That's it,
Right.
But apparently they ain't got no problem going to a swap meet real quick and just buying a belt buckle and saying, put this in your mouth real fast. They ain't got no problem with that. Fucking 4-finger ring. See if we could just tape it.
Oh man,
they were bad.
Yeah. So. Okay,
so Castro, you do realize that he's taken the fat suit off if there ever was one, which I don't believe there was. It was just 3 pairs of sweats or something.
Yeah,
it's gone.
That he's not rotund.
They were like,
but I think it's maybe
Raekwon doesn't need to be fat.
Remember, he's in the church. But in the church, he's sitting down. Like there's, different scenes in terms of like even at the end, you see him through a window. So I think they cut him waist down and say, "Yo, forget that. Just shoot him." You know what I'm saying? Shoot him differently so we don't have to wear a fat suit.
He never needed to wear the fat suit. If he would have just had the body language right, it would have been fine. No one would have been like, "That's not Raekwon."
Right. Plus, this is when he's mad young, so we didn't have to, he didn't have
to have the Buddha belly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he did. I mean, to be honest.
All right, so
he did. He was a round motherfucker.
So what was y'all?
That's because he was sleeping outside in New York.
Jesus.
And had to hibernate. He had that fat to help him make it through the winter.
Jesus.
True that.
All right, favorite Wu embodiment. Who did it the best? Who wore the Wu the best?
Oh man, I have a couple.
All right, who's your first? Who's the top of your list?
My top is Dave East is fucking killing Method Man.
He is.
Is it Method Man?
I totally disagree.
Well, you're wrong. You haven't watched enough Source interviews like I have. You ain't hang meth up on your wall, did you?
Wow.
I did.
He's like a pet rock in this show. He is.
Oh, I think. Okay, I'll give you that. There's not enough personality, but I think that it's like I see that being him at that time, in the circumstances that he's in the show.
I think he gets the benefit of being the one actor that physically resembles the character he's playing. So we give him more the benefit of the doubt to think he's playing Meth better. But Meth was really happy-go-lucky. We forget when he was young. He was always the one jumping in the interview, doing all these demonstrative things with his hands and his arms. I think they should have got somebody a little bit more like that.
I think we're going to get there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We haven't gotten there yet in the story. Yeah.
I think this is who Method Man. If and I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right about this, but it feels accurate. So even if at that time frame, that seems accurate. That seems like the trajectory that where I pick up of knowing Method Man at. This could all be absolutely true. And lead up right to exactly who you're talking about. Especially
going through what he went through in high school. Like, we're seeing that story now. Like, it wasn't, this isn't a period for him to become the happy-go-lucky person yet. So I agree.
Yeah, he got a lot of trauma popping right now.
Yeah. For me, G had another one.
I do. I have a couple.
Wait. Okay. Can I get my first one in the case is one of your second? In case it's your second or third?
I mean, whatever, I guess.
Okay.
It's going to be.
It's probably going to be. Of course, ODB.
Of course.
That kid nailed ODB.
And this is where Castro says, actually, I disagree because Old Dirty Bastard has a son named Young Dirty Bastard.
And he's problematic.
And he should have been played him.
He's troublesome.
No, Young Dirty Bastard auditioned for the role, but they went with an actor.
I bet they did.
Looks just like his father. They went with the actor.
He does look just like him.
So much better. Yeah.
Have you seen him talk about it?
Audition. Not yet. No, I've tried to stay away from them and they're out of character until the end of the series. I didn't want to see them.
Well, he's not in it. So
you're talking about have you seen Young Dirty?
Oh, you meant? Oh, I thought you meant the actor.
Nah.
Oh no, I'm talking about actual Young Dirty. Have you seen him talk about Wu and his feelings? And
he did it on Sway.
He's a lot.
Yeah, he's a lot. B. They wouldn't have been able to direct him.
He's a very entitled young.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to give him direction at all, yo. Straight up.
Okay, I think that there's some of the articles that were talking about it were like saying that between the lines. Like, he wasn't coachable. That's
Yeah.
what I got.
I would. I mean,
Yep.
it would. Yeah,
100%.
that tracks.
100%. That tracks. 100%.
So yeah, the ODB dude playing him. Crap, I can't remember his name. It's like
I never know his name. I never know.
TJ something. I'm not sure. Sorry. Shout out to him. He's dope. He got it. The embodiment with the overalls on is just each time. I'm like, yeah, that's perfect.
Oh
That's
my God.
absolutely perfect. The real quick, him in the studio in the last episode,
Yeah. When they were recording.
and they're like, "Quit wasting our studio time." And he's like, "My voice is an instrument." It's like he would fucking say that. Like I feel like that's a direct quote.
Straight up.
Okay, and then my last, I love Dennis. I don't think Dennis is. I don't think Dennis is doing an accurate portrayal of Ghost.
Okay.
But I love Dennis.
You love him.
But he's not on my list. I just
Okay.
I
Just
just
wanted to
felt
say
like
it.
I needed to give him an honorary shout out
Yeah.
because he's doing a fantastic job
He would
for.
appreciate that, son. And
He
he would
would.
come to the party with a bottle already opened up, son. And he would smash the party. But he's going to apologize to you later, really nice, like, and respectful, and call you ma'am, son.
All of that is real. So then my other is old boy playing RZA.
Okay. I do like him.
I
do like
think he has that. I think he probably has more rhythm to his awkwardness than RZA actually does in real life.
Yeah.
But he has like certain little dips and movements that he makes that's like awkward, but also
Yeah.
somehow making him unique. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like, oh, this is after talking to you guys and you telling me how awkward he is in real life. And that all just like kind of confirming what my thought of RZA was.
Right.
Like, but the way that everybody talks about him is that he's the king of all
He'd have
things.
it. Castro.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree
Yeah.
that RZA was able to to mold the world around him to where his awkward,
And
in a way that his awkward became his cool?
yeah, I mean, because they always had that intellectual angle, like they didn't sound like dumb niggas. So he could always make his assumptions, his little phrases sound like they were some Zen wisdom because he knew how to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Like he would quote, kung fu movies and all that stuff, but the way he spoke, I remember, like, to get what you're saying, and I remember every time their punctuation marks would be like 5% gems.
Right.
So it didn't matter what they said before it, because they would say, knowledge is God and God is the key. And like if you end it with that, then it makes you seem like you're saying like
You're like,
rarefied air shit. So they always seemed like they were really smart and figured it out and had it,
Peace,
had known. Yeah, it just seemed like they seemed smarter than their age because they would pepper and dot all of their speech with their 5% knowledge.
So one of his lines
Should
that
be
you
deep,
always
though.
quote when you do your impersonation is that perpendicular to the square, and that's from the Fourth Chamber. And that video, I remember when that video dropped, and RZA was spitting them lines, and we were just watching him on the TV. It was like, nigga, what?
Stay go like Flair.
It was just like, this is the most incredible, because he was stumbling. Like, in that video,
Welcome to the Dragon's Lair.
he was killing it
In
on some
particular.
old, like, fall up in the spot. We're watching him fall up in the spot over and over in the video. It's like, oh, nah, RZA is the shit. Like, he's
All
the
up into your
shit.
cerebral
Yeah, that was-
cortex.
He
Never my
jumped.
reaction to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Never
It's
was.
crazy.
Flush your mind like a nut from raw sex.
He's easily, he's easily lowest of the coolest people in the original 9. He's down at the bottom, just on some everyday average cool. He's not the dude you're hanging with.
Right.
But then when he does shit like that, it's like he's
But
so
it's funny
awkward,
because
so
he would
weird that it's
set
like,
the style
oh shit.
but he would still set the style standard. He
Right.
still would,
That's where I was going.
They styled up. They would take the style seeds from him, the kung fu, the slang, and all that. And once you get that into Method Man's hands and Raekwon's hands, and
Oh,
Ghostface's
it's a
hands,
wrap.
and Jizza's
Once
hands,
Meth
then-
get it, it's over.
Right.
Yeah, no matter.
Right, but the impetus
Yeah.
would start with him, but they would definitely mutate it with
Yeah.
their powers and shit. But yeah, you're right. He wouldn't be like the coolest in the room, but he made it the Abbott. He embodied that point. Like I'm gonna start everything. And then
Yeah,
y'all
as
get
a
the
person
finish.
who doesn't know all of those things, it's like, why does anybody think RZA's cool?
Yo,
That was forever going to be my question.
man, fourth chamber.
And you know what? He was also, you know what else, Morg? He was the most disciplined in the room.
Yeah,
He was able to tame these wild lions. Nobody believed in this shit because none of them did it. It's not like they had a cousin that did it or something.
Right.
Nobody did it. So they were really believing in a fantasy outcome. And they all had to humble themselves and not just humble themselves, but steel themselves. They all had to chill. I can't be out here selling drugs. I can't be running the streets. I can't be endangering the situation until we finish this thing and sell it and then see what it's hitting for.
That's one of the most interesting arcs for me throughout this series is watching Ray kind of reel it back in, making time to be in the studio, going back to see his parents at church. Like that's oh my god, so that's probably my second favorite story arc.
You just
right
the sting from.
Yeah,
you're gonna have second thoughts when you see the flower truck.
Right.
But yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah, hell yeah.
Yo, when Power saves him, and then he goes and is like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Them
and
alphabet
then also
boys.
the parallel of him being embraced somewhat because you didn't see his father by his family, and Power not being. Like his dad said, "Look, I don't want nothing to do." You know what I'm saying? There was a parallel there. I noticed because they were working together.
Yeah, but I mean, is that really
the approach
comparable?
was different.
Because he was still using his parents' business as a stash spot.
Yeah,
which is different than being like you've been kicked out.
Yeah,
you've been kicked out of your parents' house and you're homeless.
Yeah.
Like no, he ate. Yeah. I agree. So here's another curious thing for season 2. How are they going to explain to us and show us? Because this needs to be shown. You can't time jump this. Power. I need to see what Divine has to talk with him about. This is what's going to make us money.
Yo, Divine going to school and all of that.
Yeah, they got to. They have to show us that. But I don't think that there's any way they wouldn't.
Yeah, Power.
But you talk to Power in dollars and cents. But if you talk to him in dollars and cents, he'll come over. He wasn't stupid. He was a very smart cat. He always been. But that I need to see that because he's a hard sell.
Yeah.
And he was right. Every time he told Raekwon, keep your eye on the ball with this rapping shit and your head in the clouds, he was right. Yeah. Just in those instances in the series, you know what I'm saying? He was right. Not just this thing, other little things.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was proven wrong. Like, it wasn't like he was eating crow or Raekwon's, rap dreams. He was right.
Right.
So, Castro, who was your best Wu embodiment? Who gave you your best Wu?
Y'all already pick Old Dirty because I think he's obvious.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick somebody else.
I mean, it's okay if Old Dirty was your best. Who was your worst then?
No, I know that. But there was I liked Jizza. I felt like they could have made him a little more older and wizened because he was at that age. Mm-hmm. He was the one a little smarter than all the rest of them. But I liked the Gary Grice, seeing him as like Gary Grice as opposed to Jizza, the genius. So I did appreciate his portrayal as it went along. I will say about all of them, I thought they all got better as the series went on. So I don't know the shooting schedule or whatever, or if they saw dailies, like if they showed an episode before they shot the next one, but they all were getting better and more comfortable portraying these cats. But yeah, I'll pick Jizza. Not Inspector Deck. If you don't take off your bandana, I don't believe your character.
I was gonna say who was your worst? Would it be Deck?
Well, no, Deck's bandana. So but my worst was it was Dennis.
Yours was
my worst was Dennis because I felt like they missed the mark from watching Ghost and trying to emulate him or talking to him about how crazy he used to be or whatever. I think they missed the mark a little bit. So
this is just this is Ghost on PCP every day, just a microdose. You know what I mean? Like
no, I get, but I like
he's
when
just
I say
highly
mark,
aggro.
I say they got an intense cat and they got a highly agitated cat, but I just felt like sometimes it was misplaced. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it was just.
Listen,
again,
if I were Ghost
nuance.
and I lived Ghost's life,
man,
like y'all,
Ghost had a rough life.
Yo,
Like, all right,
everything
no,
would be like,
all
what,
right,
son?
Bear with me on this parallel. All right, so the way they showed over exaggerated characters in this series, as opposed to the way they showed over exaggerated characters in Sunset Park, Spaceman, the Fredro character, all that stuff.
Fredro is that
It didn't
character
seem
in
extra.
everything he's in.
It's true.
But it didn't seem extra when he got mad at the end for her leaving. All that kind of seemed genuine. Spaceman, he didn't even talk, and he was able to show I'm a misunderstood a pothead. I'm just like, that type of thing was missing for me. If Ghostface was going to be a hothead, then you really get somebody that's going to play a hothead and not look like they're reading off a teleprompter where son is like 10 times bigger than all the rest of the words.
I mean, I'm not mad at you. The eyes get big. You're not wrong. I just don't think that it's as bad as you think it is.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? Like, nothing you've said is wrong here.
Worst for me, I don't know. Because I honestly, I was just so excited to see Deck.
Oh.
There was a bad you. They did a bad job with you guys. They did a honestly. Okay, let me be 100% hundo.
Yeah, let's be real.
The worst for me would be Jizza. And that's only because I didn't get enough Capadonna for him to be the worst. There wasn't enough. But Jizza, he could have been.
You remember how Jizza was hip hopped out when he was younger.
True, but my thing was he just could have been anybody. Anybody could have did this. Like from the casting to the acting. It's really Jizza could have been anybody.
More of a leader character. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Jizza's not my pick. Oh fuck, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry even to interrupt you, man. It's Divine.
Oh, Divine. Yeah, Divine for your favorite. Yeah, you said Divine was on point.
Yeah, it's Divine. It's Divine. It's Divine. Whether you thought he was swarmy or not, Morg, he was hitting it. He was steady. Like his silent moments of reflection, that's Divine.
Yeah.
So the way that guy was able to get that off on screen, that's Divine and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have.
I know they didn't give him a lot to
Divine
do
your
after
worst?
he got out of jail.
Huh?
No, Divine's my best.
No, I was asking MJ.
Oh.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know him enough.
Wait, know
him well enough to say who your worst.
Who's your best?
Yeah, like I can't say
Dirty, right?
if he's doing a good embodiment of that dude. Like that's what I'm going off of.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
Yeah, Old Dirty was my best. Yeah.
Okay. And Morg, your best was Ghostface, right? Dennis?
No.
Sorry.
Method Man.
Method Man. Oh yeah, that's why I didn't remember because I fell asleep thinking about Davies.
Wow.
Wow. This is some New York rapper hate. That's what.
That's
this
just
is.
So you know.
No, it's not.
A weird thing to do.
It's not.
It's a weird thing to do.
Oh my
God.
God.
A lot of rappers about Dave East's Method Man portrayal. But anyway, let's go.
I don't want to ask a whole bunch of rappers. I want you, the rapper, to tell me why it's bad, and you didn't really. So we can move forward.
I did. It's kind of static and stiff. Okay, he played the role like he's crutches.
Oh,
no adjustment level.
Wow. Okay. Would you recommend this series?
All right, Dave East, what are you going to do in this scene? I'm going to stand up straight. Okay, stand up straighter. All right.
That was actually funny.
I'm not doing that.
That's his role. The whole
Stand up
series.
straighter. All right.
Standing up straight.
I don't think you stood up straight once, but
yo, what am I gonna do? I got fired from a job I'm not at. How did I get in? And why am I working on?
I would like.
Tell me I'm fired.
I would like to talk about how you're in the back.
Guys, that made total sense to me.
Why?
I will explain.
Go straight into a job without talking to.
I will explain.
Yeah, he's right,
I've worked many retail situations where when you're starting your shift, you just walk right in and get to work. It's not the supervisor says something to you that they even know that you're there.
Okay, yeah, but he's back there with a friend. That friend don't work there. You don't get to take your friends back to the stock room.
But we've seen him.
He would ask his boss, "I'm coming back today," and he said, "Okay," right? He didn't just.
No, listen. When you haven't done all the follow up you're supposed to,
they didn't hold the position. They didn't hold his position.
Right. Yeah, when you haven't done all the follow up you're supposed to, that's how you do that. You just go in and start working until somebody say something to you. You like, huh? What? Oh, they gotta talk. They gotta talk to me in the back.
I'm embedded in there, huh? What you say?
Huh?
Oh, wait till
all right.
I take my lunch.
Yeah, that's I watched.
Yo, this is some shit you would do.
Yo, not just me, but I've watched this happen. Like I've seen dudes come in, and I'm like, and we'll be like, yo, why is he here? Like this nigga is fired. Yeah, he got dumb fired. And I think at some point,
that's funny because
y'all can relate to seeing someone at the job that y'all know was like, oh, they let him back in here. They caught. What is it like? What is such doing back here? That's wild. Yeah. So as far as having people in the back, we watched them have people in the back room all season. So that's the hangout. Like, yeah, that didn't.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean that's fair.
Somebody, they hemmed somebody up in the back.
Right.
They hemmed somebody up.
Right.
Like what was Ghost doing back there?
Oh my God!
You back
Definitely
there.
don't let him in. He got to stay outside the whole mall.
Listen,
you outside the island, nigga. Stand out here and look at
you
the
can't
water.
you can't take Ghost nowhere
to the
with
gift
you.
shop. The way he played him,
go
you
get
leave
pretzels.
him outside all the time.
You gotta go get pretzels. You gotta give Ghost like a task. Like go get all of us a pretzel
with cheese
and
Meet us
cheese
back here.
and a
We'll be
drink,
back here.
and then
yeah.
stand right
take
there
long,
until
son,
we get back.
I'm gonna be right back, son.
Right.
Yo,
He gonna give us all of that, but he ain't
talk
gonna.
on your shit or what?
But that's our timer.
I'm
We
going
know.
into something.
We know that would normally take anybody 10 minutes. It's going to take him 7.
Right.
So we got to hurry up.
No, but no,
meet him
Morg,
out front.
Nope, you can't send him out. You come out, he's fucking flipped the cart, throwing hot dogs at motherfuckers and shit,
This is so real.
spilling hot dog water on somebody. Like, it's a whole situation when all you did was send him to get you a hot sausage. Can't take his ass nowhere.
All right. So would you recommend? I think it's safe to say you guys would recommend this to other people, right?
I would definitely recommend.
I would recommend it more to people that don't know anything about the Wu than I would to a Wu head.
So
you know,
you'd
if I
say-
knew this guy's a Wu head.
So you'd say watch
give him
this
the
before watching the
disclaimer.
documentary.
No. I would,
Interesting.
no matter what, I would tell everybody watch the documentary first.
Okay. Before someone who isn't a Wu head, you think they would enjoy this less after watching the documentary? So they should probably watch this first.
Let me amend that.
Okay.
Any young cats coming up or youngsters that don't know Wu or weren't around, watch this show.
Right.
I think this will be a better medium for them to get it. Then
Right.
watch the documentary.
All right.
Documentary's 4 parts. Teenagers can't watch 4 parts or something. Yeah, so I would.
They can watch
but
13 Reasons
anybody
Why.
that's,
So
They definitely can watch 4 parts.
they can watch 13 Reasons Why. So they
but,
can watch
but,
this.
but think about it. Their TV is built for binging and cliffhanging. Our TV was built for serial. Wait a whole week. There's a little difference in the writing. Not a lot, but there's a little difference to me.
There's a difference for sure.
Yeah. But anybody over 30 or whatever, I would give them the disclaimer about the show first. I'd say it's not as accurate as you would like it to be.
It ain't the
but it's a good time.
Real. So before we vote,
Hip-hop.
before we vote, there was one more question you added in there, Castro. I think it's really good. Do you think this satisfied the Wu heads? Why or why not? So I'm going to jump in there and respond. Growing up in and around within the Wu head community, I don't think this satisfied them, and I don't care. Like, I don't want them to be satisfied. They're old curmudgeon. They complain about every fucking thing. I don't care about them
He's
at
talking
all.
to you, Castro. How do you feel about it?
Okay, I don't want them to be satisfied. Because, I mean...
He ain't talking to me, God. You better do your mathematics.
Nah,
Peace,
fam.
God.
Nah,
Peace,
Lord.
God.
I ain't talking to you, Lord. This ain't directed at you, B. So, like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Like, those people are stuck in a moment in time. They're stuck there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. I love this. I think the documentary is for them, and this is for everybody else. What you got, Cass?
I'm a little bit. I agree with you, but I'm a little more on the fence with it.
Okay.
I know why they wanted something a little more accurate or gritty or the Wire, because these other shows exist. The Wire and other good shows out the park, do well. So I can understand people kind of wanting that a little bit, but I think with that desire or that want comes some surrealism. RZA wrote it. Once you know RZA's in the writing room, then you have to temper your expectations into RZAlandia. So even if this wasn't about Wu-Tang and RZA wrote it, I know what I expect. So that's that,
Right.
So I just think you take the sugar with the salt. That's all I'm saying. But I think it's a good time had by all because as much as any Wu head, including myself, can criticize it for certain things, there's certain moments you just sit there like a kid, like, oh. Like when they do Seven Chamber, who cares? Like nobody really gives a fuck that it's, oh, this accurate or that didn't happen in this studio or the beat was. You still have those moments. You know, that wow moment and shit like that. You're still going to have those if you live through any part of that. So sometimes you can just get over yourself. I think in reruns and perpetuity, people will enjoy this series a lot. Because the main thing, and Morg, I think you'll agree with me here, it exists. Like, that's the main thing. This exists.
Yes.
And you can go buy it in the store real soon. You can download it. It happened. They did it.
Yep.
High five, Wu and Sue. It actually exists. So now you have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a myth. It's not a project. It was a pilot that wasn't, executed. This thing exists, and I applaud them for that, for getting something like that done. TV is not easy. More, productions are even harder. And I haven't worked in TV. I can imagine just to get through, get a whole season out. So even if they never come with a second season, I think they did a great job. And I think if you are a Wu head, you owe it to watch it. Like all the cats are complaining because they're watching every episode. I know some cats that, I can't do it, I dropped off. But those are the curmudgeon cats you were talking about.
Yeah.
And the cats that, the purists that just want things their way. So they were going to drop out regardless. So,
all right. We're going to vote. And then I want to ask you guys, I want to read a status to you guys that's not directly related to this. But I want your input. I want your reaction. I don't even need the input. I just need your reaction to it because it's so ridiculous. So let's vote. I give this the maximum amount of no names possible. I'm on no name depth on this.
So are we doing a number of no names or each person gets a no name? I know
I think we do the number.
Right?
No, I think it's now we give a no name.
Okay.
A full,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you give a full no name.
I give a full no name.
I do too, simply because this is a fun story to get into.
It's so fun.
And I really love all of the extra characters that come along with the families and all of that. And again, Attila. It's a really thorough telling of a bunch of different stories. So I like it. Castro.
All right. I'm going to have to give it 3/4.
3/4.
Half of the quality, but it's turned into a good bad experience for me. Like it's bad in a lot of areas, but it's so bad it's good sometimes, and I enjoy that. Also, the credits do a lot for me to see all of the Wu members' names.
Yeah.
So regardless of how we feel about it, they all co-signed it, and when regardless of how much input each of them had, they all checked off on it. They all signed off on it. So that alone makes me proud and makes me accept it in this form and enjoy it for what it is.
Speaking of credit,
we have Wu-Tang superhero series.
Right.
Seriously.
Speaking of credits, the way they ended the last episode with the actor with Shamik rapping Ray's verse in the credits on 7 like that.
Oh,
was,
yeah. They
I was like, word.
You're right. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I lost it. I'm like, yo, they're tripping. That was so dope. Okay.
Also, I want the listeners and us to remember that on like episode 8, I'm not sure. I think that was the first time that you actually heard a Wu-Tang beat that they had the rights to. Like the beat was in full fledged when
in the studio.
Yeah, when they went to the radio station and RZA was thinking to himself and calling himself RZA and shit. That was, he must own that beat. Mm-hmm. And they actually played it. And I was like, as opposed to that, shitty synth versions of some of the stuff they had earlier. So that was a really good moment.
All right. So that being concluded, the homie Sean Clay, a comedian from Philly, he posted on Facebook, I like Power over The Wire overall because of character development. The Wire had better writers, no question, but Power is must-see TV that keeps you on the edge. The Wire was using regular people, and the acting was atrocious.
Wow, someone's never seen The Wire.
Especially the elementary students.
Oh, my God!
Wow.
What the no?
I thought this was
Call this man right now.
I would never hear that thing you read. And that's incredible that somebody thought that.
Yo,
you cannot be serious.
That status.
I thought it was just some hood motherfucker on that Power shit. I get that.
Right.
A lot of
right.
It's like You
These
have
people have started great careers. Even the ones that aren't acting.
Hello.
Now, those are like.
It's like you put the gauge at 0, then you have plus 100. That status is minus 100. It's the exact everything he said was the exact opposite of fact.
Of what all those actors in there, even the ones that don't, even McNulty and all that you don't see anymore because he's foreign, they're all excellent actors. Like all of them.
McNulty ended up in 300. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody moved on to something.
Right. Indeed, I'm just saying, like, you know, we're not seeing them on American TV. I'm just saying, like, you know, some of the cast you don't see regular. You know.
But a lot of them you do.
Call it, the young,
I don't know, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
A lot of these, if they're not singing, they're acting. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Mac Wild,
even Dookie sings.
Mac Wild,
I'm thinking. Yeah,
I didn't even know that until I looked it up.
Dookie.
No, Dookie sings. Dookie sings. Dog.
I'm thinking of the other kid,
Mac Wild.
The boys' home kid. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He's the one that doesn't do anything now. That's what I be thinking about. What I think.
Okay.
The one that was always in the foster home. Randy.
Damn, you did.
I checked his what's the name? His IMDb. He's still doing stuff. It's just like B movies.
Okay, good.
But you're still getting paid. You're still, you know what I'm saying? But to say that acting is and mind you, we're talking about the kids. But he said overall the acting was atrocious, especially the kids. So you're saying all of the actors that were in, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, but that's just
Omar.
And you compare it to
Declare Me Dumb.
Power. Now here's the thing. To be fair,
I
have not watched Power, and the reason I haven't watched Power
either
is because I stopped watching Empire and didn't feel like I needed to watch another show that was on the same level.
No, but to give it its credit, I heard that Power was much better than what Empire turned into, and I think that's why Power was even more popular, because Empire decayed and Power got better. So I think
I think at the same when they came out, they were very similar in show.
Gotcha.
And then they took a departure, so they went heavy on the. The thing that's funny to me about Power is that it's the story of Avon and Stringer, right?
I don't know. I never watched Power at all. I don't know anything.
Okay,
about
so then let me just say. It's the I want to be a businessman, but I'm a drug dealer. How do I get out the game? That's the story,
right?
And then it flowers from there in all of the ways. So so that's the same.
You call it must see TV.
I think that's true for the people that watch it. I mean, everybody talks about Power. I don't watch it, and I think that it's probably a really.
Here's the boost with Power. Here's the boost with Power, because even I don't know if that one did well, but How to Get Away with Murder. What's the other one with Homegirl in it, with the president and stuff?
Scandal.
So all of those shows kind of tailed off, and I think that's where Power's strength is. It's gotten better. Like we say, Empire kind of tailed off. Like it writes itself into a corner where they run out of things to talk about.
Empire
Power
went too soap opera too fast.
Yeah.
That was Empire's fault,
Yeah.
Or downfall. They went way too over the top, fantastical, dumb shit too quick. Like if you're looking to be a longevity, like a long-standing soap opera, fine. But throw those, weird shits in, but you can't have like Lucius die 17 times. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that type of shit. Just
it was like WB TV.
Enlighten us. Is Power good?
I've only watched one episode. I've never watched the show, so I'm not. I've only seen the first app.
Yeah.
So not well versed. I just mean that from what I glean from everybody that talks about it on the internet, the people that do their spoilers simply because everybody's pissed off that they haven't watched it yet. I mean, it's a drug dealer. Should I stay or should I go situation?
Right.
And now it sounds like a soap opera to me. Like.
Yeah.
So-and-so's girl wants him to stay in the game, so now she's in the game. So now she's arrested.
One of my
okay, it's the days of our lives. Cool.
Days of our drug lives.
One of my good friends that I watch a lot of shows with, like, she'll tell me to watch show, I watch shows. She talks highly of Power, so I have to.
That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know anybody who watches it who is like 100% trash on their. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're. I know. I'll tell y'all this. I'm an American Horror Story fanatic. And that is a horrible show. And yet the bloggers, like, we are slaves to the rhythm. We watch it every year.
I disagree on it being a horrible show. I mean, I'm not going to go that far.
We just finished Apocalypse, and that.
No, it's not a horrible show. Let me stop.
Okay.
It's not a horrible show. It's a coin flip because and
Could
Cam,
be
check this out.
amazing,
It's
could
not just
be
a coin flip.
mediocre.
Okay.
No, not just but more. Not just every season. It does this thing where it makes a left turn every season.
You're
so when
right.
you watch a season, you might like the first half. And
I see what you're saying.
like,
The left turn is
every
what...
season does that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't disagree.
where are we at now? Yeah, but if it's a good switch, then cool. But like sometimes it's a weird switch. So pretty much American Horror Story, I think every other season except like one, like it's like good season, bad season, good like that kind of alternates. But I'm talking. My point is, I've watched every episode. I don't miss it.
Yeah.
I regret it if I cringe after a bad season. Oh, what are you gonna do now? And I just sit there and just staring.
So you're saying there could be power fans out there that are like that?
Doing the
Is
same
that what
thing.
you're getting at?
Oh, if they wrote, I don't know Power, but if they wrote it a certain way, like how American Horror Story is, just in the veins of sucking you in, and you're just in. Like we're in this, I'm in the universe. I'm in. Like I'm not gonna clock out.
I think that's
Yeah.
potentially true for power fans.
Yeah. All right.
I'm upset that you took us down that slanderous road of The Wire.
Listen,
I'd like to take a moment and just say that is the greatest television show that has ever happened.
So that's why I had to do it. Because of a Wire aficionado, the person that put me onto The Wire, I needed the world to hear your reaction, and I need the world to hear Castro's reaction.
I'm disgusted.
Because...
I'm
Yeah,
upset.
I mean, well, it's top 5. It's not number 1. It's top 5 because you have to.
Now
put,
we're into opinions, and
X-Files.
that's fine.
you
Okay,
said now we're
I
into
mean,
opinions.
fucking
No,
end it now. I'm not
Facts,
doing
you
this.
have to put X-Files and Sliders
In the
Game of Thrones.
in the
and Wire.
fucking
You can't put
trash.
sliders in the same top
You
5
know
with
what?
Game
It's
of
been
Thrones.
fun. Let's end it on a high note.
Have y'all even see? This is the thing about Sliders. Y'all just watch the episodes. Y'all don't embody the emotion. Y'all don't get the camaraderie of the
Says
team lost
the
in
man
space.
who has a podcast with 3 other people that do the same thing he does. Watch TV shows and embody the whole thing. That's what this is. Don't tell me
But
we
then
don't
means
do
you
that.
Must have missed Sliders, honey.
I don't even
That
know
means
what
that
Sliders
you-
is. I'm a lot younger than you.
You know, you remind me of Morg. You know, what you remind me of. You remind me of some coworkers of mine I've had in my past that always say, "Oh, we don't get your references because you're always talking about like Beverly Hills Cop or like." Or you're talking about like movies with Richard Pryor and
Gene Wilder.
Like we don't get your references. You're like, you know, that's you remind me of that, Morg. Like we don't get your
Well,
references.
I'm just doing it right now because I don't know what Sliders is.
Say a movie that was
But I
made
did
after
watch the toy.
1998.
Yeah.
Did you say 1988?
1998.
Oh.
They always tell me say a joke past 1998, like a reference. Nobody knows my movie references because I'm always talking about some movies in the 70s or 80s.
Well, you know. Expand
No, I
your-
don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's been fun. I tried to end this about almost 6 minutes ago.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. I need you on the wire.
Wu-Tang forever.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Go
Peace,
listen
you
to
guys.
your favorite Wu-Tang show,
Please.
watch the series, and watch the documentary of Mics and Men on Mass Appeal, and watch this series on Hulu. You'll
And
be a
if
better,
anybody runs into you, God, ask him what happened.
What happened?
What had happened?
Oh, I know
and then
what
write
happened.
it down.
It's negotiation, yo. Motherfucker trying to get me out of my money, man. Ain't nobody gonna try to get me out of my money, man, when I negotiate. You know what I'm saying? Buy my book. You got a book out. Get you guys' book. You got a book. Get you guys' book.
We
You
don't
wanna
know who
some
you
Wu
God
Tang
is because he
history?
ain't in the Wu-Tang show.
Okay, no, I want to say this. No, really, before I go, and I don't know if anybody listens to the end. It needs to be said. It needs to be said that you God was very much an influential member.
Okay, nah,
you
true.
might not know it from the amount of bars
Very
and verses he has on projects, but he taught some of them how to rap. He knew a lot of them since they were kids. He was a very influential member. So it's kind of sad he's not in the series,
Yeah.
but I digress.
Well, thank you.
Buy
for-
you guys' book.
Okay.
Get Yui. You know what I'm saying? Get his book. Buy a copy for Morgan. Mail it to Podcast Has No Name. We'll make sure she gets it.
Yep.
All right.
Only way I'll read it.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.
Later.
Excellent. You're still here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of A Podcast Has No Name. If this is your first time checking us out, please subscribe. We are available on Google Play, Apple Music, Spotify, and pretty much everywhere else you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Podcast Has No Name. Deuces.
Subscribe, please, please, please. Click and comment.